So we're here in the ultimate favorite Pokemon picker, and of course here are all of the categories. Pretty interesting, never have done this before, and of course you'll also get to see my favorite Pokemon in each of the category, which also you could label as, in my opinion, the best Pokemon. Be sure to watch until the end to discover that, and also I'll stop at the Pokemon that could have more interesting explanations as to why it's my favorite in that category. So without further ado, I'll just jump straight into it. With the Generation 1 normal type Pokemon, between Wigglytuff and Persian, I'll pick Persian. No real reason, just, it's a cool cat. A bit more of a surprise here is Dugong. It's kind of growing on me, although it's always that type of Pokemon which is super late in the game, so hopefully in the DLC I'll finally try it out. I always like giving Parasect a shot. It has some pretty cool moves, but that type it leaves a lot to be desired. But Jolteon, it does the job. The evolutions are always a thing that you can't really decide on the one that you like the most. At the start, my favorite was Umbreon, then probably Leafeon, then Espeon, again Umbreon, and now it's Jolteon. You know what? Actually, let's put Dugong here. The second one, I was thinking of Golduck. Yeah, sure, Golduck. I would pick Muk, but I'll leave that for the gimmick form. For flying types, I'll just go for Zapdos here. Easily the best bird out of the trio. I'll take Parasect in that place, and instead for here, I'll pick, I guess, Victory Bell. Rock type, anyways, it's gonna be Golem. Ghost type, let's go for some predictable stuff here and just do Gengar. Yeah, sure, let's repeat that. But for all dark types, I guess I'll just pick the best one out of these guys, whatever they are. And out of the starters, my favorite is Venusaur. Now for the gimmick forms, no competition at all, it's Mega Beedrill. In my opinion, the best Mega. The best in that case that it actually makes the Pokemon which has the Mega way more viable. Before Mega, who was using Beedrill? After Mega Evolution, finally gets its time in the spotlight, so I definitely can appreciate that. And just like before, also Zapdos is here. But out of all of these guys, which is my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, I think my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon is going to be Mega Beedrill. Yeah, kind of cliche to go for a Mega Pokemon, but it's just the way it is. But it's time for the Gen 2 Pokemon, and I guess Ursaring, yeah. Sprinkling in a bit of action from the water types. Probably going to choose a little cutie little thingy called Politoed. Electric types, pretty cool. Raikou, once again, the electric type is the coolest one out of the trio. Sneasel, no surprise there, probably. Heracross, it's not even a competition. You know what? Kind of like Ariados more. It's one of those Pokemon that you kind of unexplainably like. There's something about it, kind of have a sort of an attachment to Pokemon that are kind of underappreciated or weaker, as you probably could tell from picks like Parasect and Dugong. So, cliche, I guess. Ground types, gotta be Steelix, Gigachad, Jawline, kind of Jelly, and who would expect that based on the Pokemon that's in my profile picture and also in my banner, it's gonna be a Lydian. But I think I'll pick him for this, because in flying, I think it's going to be Mantine. After a Black 2 playthrough, it really came in clutch and I kind of grew some appreciation for it. So, Espeon. As for these guys, the first one that pops in my head is Tyranitar. And Misdreavus would be my pick, even there would be other ghost types. It's a really cool Pokemon, I think. Cool. Let's actually rewind a bit and put Tyranitar there, and actually give some time to appreciate Sudowoodo as well. As for steel types, out of the selection, you could never go wrong with Scizor. And, of course, it's the fire type starter, but let's go the predictable route again and think of the end game, so I'll probably pick Typhlosion. Once again, out of the things that's offered, Mega Steelix is pretty cool. And Legendary, no competition there, it's Raikou once again. But the Gen 2 Pokemon, which is my favorite? Come on, do you even know me? Probably not, but yeah, that's kind of obvious, I guess, I hope. As for normal types, it gets kind of harder because I'm trying to decide between Vigoroth, Lanoon, kind of Spinda, and Zangoose, and kind of Kecleon. But I guess Vigoroth, yeah. We got the dick-shaped chicken, the cliche KFC, potato, whatever, and of course the Gigachad Torkoal. let's go for that. Water types, of course, quite a bit in the infamous watery region. Yeah, I think the pick is going to go to Crawdont. Yeah, okay. And another tough pick, but since we got another selection for starters instead of Skiptile, I'll of course go for Breloom. For the poison type, of course, it's going to be the very cool, the very awesome Seviper. How could you not go for Seviper there? But speaking of ground types, Flygon, yeah, duh. Flying types, Masquerain or Salamence. I guess I could pick for Dragon type Salamence, so I'll go for Masquerain. Maybe a surprise for someone. Definitely Chimecho. Never really used it before, but I really love the design and hope to use it someday. But speaking of more unusual picks, I guess, or not that much unusual compared to Chimecho, is Armaldo. Love that. Rock types. After some other Nuzlocke playthroughs, surprisingly, Lunatone has really not only been a kind of a clutch, but there's something about that fortune cookie-shaped creature. Ghost types. This is definitely the gen where the ghost type designs start to pick up. Well, of course, since there's way more of a selection, so the average goes up, but for what we got here, it's either Banette or Sableye. I guess it's gonna be Banette, but I'll probably... the Sableye is maybe gonna show up later. We'll see about that. And out of the gimmick forms we have available, probably going to be Sableye, like I kind of hinted before as well. And legendaries, once again, out of all of the ones that have been in this and previous selections, is going to be a easy winner for me, which is Kyogre. And out of the Gen 3 Pokemon, out of all of these amazing creatures, I'm going to choose... yeah, okay, let me think about this for a bit. Kind of surprised that it took that long, but I think I'm going with Breloom, although that maybe will change later. So let's just move forward with a very obvious pick for normal, and surprise, surprise, it's Lumineon. Yeah, very interesting. Kind of not a surprise anymore. It's a evolution. Yeah, kind of hinted at that before when speaking about my favorite evolutions from time to time. What's going to be my favorite ground type out of Gen 4? I mean, Gliscor's pretty cool. If not for the design, I mean, it's pretty fun to use a poison heal Pokemon, so I'll go with that. And flying type, interesting picks we got here, but it's going to be Morphin. Once again, a Pokemon that I pretty much have never used, would like to use, like the design, and nothing really else. Psychic types though, I think it's going to be Azelf? I mean, it kinda would be Glade, but that thing on his hips, around the waist, that oval stone thingy, whatever, yeah, it really puts me off. But yeah, okay, I'm delving a bit deeper into the predictable choices for these options, so yeah, okay. Dragon types, actually, let's go for Giratina there, back up a bit and choose Miss Magius. Sure, Punch Girl, let's go for that. I mean, that painting animation in Battle Revolution, that cannot be beat. So actually, just for that, I think it would be pretty obvious to put it there. And for here, another Pokemon that's randomly been growing on me, although once again I haven't really used it at all, so it's kind of a weird thing going on here. But for the choices we got here, Probopass. Yeah, gimmick forms, interesting picks, but you know what? In the Mega form, the diaper thingy bloated stomach for Glade actually kind of gets balanced out by the other aspects of the design, so it kind of fixes that and works out pretty nice. For the legendaries, out of the bunch, I would say Origin Form Giratina, but the favorite Gen 4 Pokemon. I'm unintentionally gonna surprise you with an actual favorite of mine from this generation. Lumineon, yeah, I'm just quirky like that. Speaking of being quirky, yeah, it's Watchog. Little bit of a story. So, playing White-2, yeah, it was White-2, just having a good old casual playthrough and trying out some Pokemon that I usually don't use, was just training up my pals in the double battle grass, the darker blue, darker green, that's left from Nimbasa City, the 4th gym city, and I was just training there for like an hour, and suddenly there pops out a shiny Watchog. Yeah, that was pretty cool. For I never had seen that shiny and was pretty awesome, but of course since it was a shiny, I decided to keep it until the very end of the game, even beat a champion with it, and had to get pretty quirky with the moveset to balance out its very poor stats for the end of the game. Kind of a hot take, I kind of like the Super Mystery Dungeon game or whatever was on the 3DS, and the security guard or what at the school in Super Mystery Dungeon, his character was kind of entertaining for me, so I guess that's kind of an addition. But yeah, moving on. Well, surprise, surprise, it's going to be definitely not Simisear. At least I have some brain cells working on some of this stuff. But yeah, it's probably going to be Chandelure. Best object Pokemon, probably. Mienshao, easy pick, very easy, just like Watchog before. This is kinda tough. I really like Crocodile, and probably many other people, I really like Excadrill as well. But then again, my favorite type is Dark type, so I'll guess that helps balance that out. And probably, except for Armaldo, the best fossil Pokemon, at least design-wise, Archeops is gonna end up here. For Psychic types, my pick is obviously Reuniclus. How could you not love that? Fetus Pokemon, right, it's a fetus. Anyways, let's just skip that. And for Bug types, interesting bunch yet again. Aselgor, pretty cool. I mean, it was also kind of funny seeing it kind of stole Greninja's signature move in Generation 7 or Gen 8, whatever. I mean, in Gen 8 it became the only Pokemon that can use Water Shuriken. It kind of stole that from it. But yeah, for Rock types, it's Gigalith. Dragon types, you know what, Draudigon, let's go for that. Oh, yeah, actually, let's put Bisharp in there. And from the other options, I'll take Zoroark. Favorite legend, that's a thing that Gen 5, at least for me, kind of fails at, is the designs for the Gen 5 Pokemon. But if I'm looking at my kind of minimal actions in competitive, then I would say I had the most fun with, sure, Tornadus. And favorites, where is it? Although I kind of spoke such high things about Watchog, it's still a tie between Mienshao and Bisharp, Serperior, and Crocodile. So yeah, if I could, I would pick Bisharp, Mienshao, and Watchog. Sure, Watchog. No, sure, Mienshao. I'll just move on before I stay at that point for too long. But moving on finally to Gen 6 after so long, it's another easy pick, one of my probably top 10 favorites, Helioptile. Such a goofy lizard, I love it. Especially in the Gen 8 camping minigame, a walk around, curry making and all of that. Its run is the best thing ever. So if you haven't seen that, Google it, check it on YouTube. I don't know, it's probably somewhere, but it's the goofiest yet cutest thing ever. So yeah, look at that. Water. What we got for water? Clotzer. Oh, yeah. After I of course came up with the cleverest nickname ever, which is Prawn. The best nickname ever for it, which is Prawn Star. And yeah, after that, I thought it was too good of a nickname, got to attach to it in a Nuzlocke, and somehow it actually became the MVP with its pretty cool signature ability. Oh, no, actually it's not signature, but almost a signature ability, Mega Launcher. And yeah, carried me through that. Also the Pokemon in my collection which has the most ribbons on it, so yeah, kind of grew on me a lot. Actually kind of a difficult pick between Gogoat and Trevenant. Actually I'll pick Trevenant there and give Gogoat some spotlight, I guess. Helioptile, I don't care. I could pick Mega Manectric, which I also very like. I just like Helioptile that much, so we'll stick to that. Gen 6 got probably, I think, the least amount of Pokemon, so it's not that big of a surprise. There's many repeating Pokemon, but for the Dark types, I'll probably pick Tangaroken. Sure. For Steel types, my choice is going to Mega Steelix again. Fairy types, way more bigger of a choice now. Aromatisse, yeah, sure. I weirdly like its cry, so it has some vague resemblances to the Plague Doctor design thing aspect going on, so I kind of like that. Like the cliche Pokemon fan I am, I'm going to pick Greninja as the favorite starter. And no surprise, for the gaming forms, we have the probably biggest amount of choices up until now, but like you probably can guess from previous choices, it's Mega Beedrill. Favorite legendary, it's going to be Primal Kyogre. Yeah, awesome. And yeah, like I said before, with the top 10 thingy going on, Helioptile is popping up as the Gen 6 favorite Pokemon. For Gen 7, we're starting off with a normal type Pokemon that's my favorite, which is Gumshoos. Sure, Gumshoos. For fire types, I'll guess Salazzle. for no real reason. Wink wink. No, don't get the wrong idea. No, it's not that. It's the less I speak about it, the better. Golisopod, grass types, Lurantis. Pretty cool. I like the concept that to fend off predators, it's mimicking a predator. Pretty cool pants. Gotta love some stylish pants that, I mean, even Pokemon can get some drip, so gotta respect that. Poison types, yeah, Alone Amok is for now a pretty good contender for my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. I mean, first, it's Dark type, gotta love that. Second, I really love how it looks in 3D form when the colors move up and down. You know, switching between colors in the 3D form. Cool design, love the typing, pretty fun to use, a bulky beast. For ground types, I guess Zygarde 10%, gotta love a cute little pupper. Steel type, interesting picks, but I said that already, so I'll just pick Kartana and move on. My favorite Ultra Beast as well. And for starters, just like Gen 4, none of them really speak to me, but the Juwai is the one I kind of like the most out of them. Legendary is going to be Zygarde 10%. Sure, let's go for that. But for favorites, it's either Lurantis or Alolan Muck. Okay, you know what? I'm flipping a coin for this. Heads is Alolan Muck, tails is Lurantis. Okay, Alolan Muck. I'll keep that just in case I need to think between two very difficult decisions again. Normal type, it's, I guess, going to be Hisuian Zoroark. How predictable. For now, my favorite out of the Gen 8 Pokemon is Corviknight. I mean, the color is amazing, it looks so menacing, fun to use. Unfortunately, for Skarmory fans, it's a better version of Skarmory. And yeah, it's just that awesome. Deal with it. If I would have to say from the top of my head, I would most likely say that my favorite pseudo-legendary is Dragapult, so I'll put it there. And just like in the previous one, I'll put Dragapult yet again. And out of the gimmick forms, the Gigantamax forms don't really speak to me. Galarians don't really either. So, of course, it's going to be Hisuian forms yet again. And for that, I'll pick Hisuian Samurott, since I didn't really pick it as a starter. Legendaries, I guess the regular Zamazenta. But the favorite out of the bunch, much easier thankfully to pick now, it's Corviknight. Finally, the last generation, Gen 9. And once again, starting off with normal types, my pick is going to be either Grafaiai or Farigiraf. But actually, as soon as I said it, I decided it's going to be Grafaiai. So let's just go for that. Like the middle stage more than the final stage of the pseudo-legendary, so let's just take that and move on. For bug types, I mean, finally got a bug dark type, so gotta go with that, and gotta love some Kamen Rider representation. For rock types, gotta love a pretty nice color palette and design for Glamora. Now dark types, oh, much spicier, my favorite type, but still, no real competition. We'll go for Lokix yet again. And for the Gen 9, my final result is going to be Kilowattrel. Yeah, sure, makes the most sense to me. Now it's going to get even more interesting and tougher, because it's going to be the choice between my favorites of my favorites. Normal types, my favorite out of the bunch, either Watchog or Helioptile. Which is it going to be? Drum rolls, please! Helioptile. Okay, Helioptile, it's the one that spoke to me the most. Although Watchog is definitely easily could be also the first place. Now the fire type, it's either Houndoom or Hisuian Typhlosion. Houndoom, sure. Water types, okay, a little bit easier, Lumineon. For grass types, Lurantis. Like I said, stylish, drippiness, pretty awesome, gotta like that. Although Breloom and Serperior could also go there. Moving on to electric types. Oh, right. Helioptile is a dual typing, so let's just go with that there and bring back Watchog in here. Ice types, Sneasel, sure, Sneasel. I remember as a kid, you know, when Pokemon movies were an actual thing, and pretty much the main Pokemon movie I remember watching as a kid, or pretty much the only Pokemon movie I remember watching on my mom's computer was Pokemon Forever, I guess the fourth Pokemon movie, which had the Celebi and younger Professor Oak and whatnot, and at the start, the battling scenes or whatever, against the hunter or whatever dude that had a Cypher or a Scizor with a Sneasel. I remember Sneasel being pretty stylish, cool, showing off, and yeah, that kind of sticks out to me and brings back some memories, so I guess Sneasel is the ultimate reason. Finally moving off, fighting types, me and Shao can pop off once again. Poison types, it's in the end going to be Mega Beedrill. Sorry, Alola Mug, but you definitely could show up there. Ground types, Crocodile or Slant. Okay, let's go for that. For flying types, Korok Knight. Yeah, took a bit to find him, but it's going to be him. Psychic types, let's just go Espeon. I mean, how could it be a favorite Pokemon list without a Espeon showing up at the end? Bug types, not even a competition. Rock types, it's going to be Lunatone. Sure, Lunatone. Ghost types, Trevenant. Dragon type. Yeah, I'm getting kind of stumped at the end because, you know, this is pretty serious. A PokeTuber's list of his favorite Pokemon. Oh, that makes or breaks his reputation on the internet, so got to be very careful with the choices. So, of course, I'm going to pick Druddigon. Yeah. I'm one of the little group members that's really hoping for a new evolution because either way, it's probably going to look nicer. And I guess it's the one that stick out to me the most. Pun intended, you know, sticky, pointy, sharp things on its... Yeah, okay. Dark type. Alolan Muk finally makes a reappearance, just like I hope. But for Steel types, though, Bisharp, you gotta show up. And for Fairy types, it's going to be Wigglytuff. For the starters, my favorite starter is Superior. I mean, like I said, hyped very much when I saw it's returning in the DLC, so it's pretty obvious. For the gimmick form, let's go for Mega Beedrill. Favorite legendary, easily going to be Kyogre. And the favorite Pokemon of all time, I wonder what's in my top... Yeah, I'm just dragging out. Here's a way look at all of them. Take a screenshot, very important, share this around, you know, exposed. Okay, yeah, I'll just pick my top 6 Pokemon in here instead of the perfect dream team. So, my favorite, of course, number 1 is Ledian, but number 2 is going to be Helioptile, sure. Number 3 is Watchog, number 4 is Lumineon, number 5 is Lurantis, and number 6... Okay, I just thought about the top 5 before, so it was kind of easier, but now down to the wire with the last one, kind of thinking a bit harder. It's either Mienshao, Mega Beedrill, Corvic Knight, or Alolan Muk. No, I'm just kidding, it's Bisharp. Gotcha there. And, okay, now for side quests of side quests. Side quests. Favorite Paradox? Well, my favorite probably would be Raging Bolt, but it's not here, so I guess I'll go for my boy Iron Thorns. Sure, whatever. Favorite type, like I said, Dark type. Pikachu clone though. Huh, okay. Yeah, actually, no surprise, Mimikyu. Favorite evolution, also no surprise. Okay, favorite Pokeball. A little bit quirky here once again, but the one that I always use is, of course, Quick Ball, but design-wise, my favorite is the Libel Ball. Kind of speaks to me the most. Favorite fossil is Armaldo. Favorite regional form, Alolan Muk. Duh. Okay, my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon got one. It's obviously, kind of obviously got to be that one. Favorite baby? The one I... Oh, Toxel. Yeah, okay, I guess that counts as baby. Anyways, my favorite one is Raiello. And favorite new evolution to end it off is going to be... Espeon. Sure. Very original, and yeah, sure, that's my favorite Spinda. After pretty much an exact hour of recording, here is my ultimate list of my favorite Pokemon, favorite specific niche gimmick, I guess, Pokemon, and yeah, feel free to call me out of any of this. Feel free to comment on you not being surprised that Ledian is my favorite, your opinions about my favorites and whatnot, but yeah, all in all, this was actually kind of a fun experience, kind of learned some stuff about myself, that was pretty fun. Be sure to check out some of my other videos, which are related to the things that were used in this, you know, being sprites, and yeah, stay tuned for more great content, be sure to subscribe, see ya!